Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, Steve Wall here.
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Yeah, just calling in the issue about the Chicago shutdown and Donald Trump.
Okay.
Well, who do you think is behind that? I have an idea. I think it might be George Soros. You heard of him?
Well, you think that the George Soros organized protesters to come out there and be rabble-rousers and break it up?
Yeah, I actually do. I can't prove it, but I kind of believe that.
Well,
yeah.
there might be some truth to that, but at this point, it's really hard to say who or if there was an organized effort behind it. I don't know. I've watched some of the news and I've watched some of the coverage. And earlier in the show tonight, we actually had a guy who went to the rally last night and, basically went home because, they postponed it. But Chris and I had a thought that, whether it was orchestrated by actual protesters or whether the Trump campaign chose to shut it down, even though they may not have been in jeopardy or the people attending might not have been in jeopardy, that all this does is fuel things even more in
Trump's favor.
Trump's favor, correct.
Yeah, I see that. I think that, or it's the other way around. He's a Hillary plant. In other words, trying to get Trump the nomination for the Republicans. He cannot beat Hillary, so therefore Hillary wins.
Well, who says Trump can't beat Hillary?
I just what I've been reading online, a lot of polls.
Yeah, but where are these polls being conducted, and who's the reporting source?
Same polls that have said for a year that he's about to implode, or he just said the thing that's going to end his campaign?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm going both ways. I'm really trying to figure out what it means, but online it seems like they're saying, well, if Trump wins, Hillary's going to win.
No, nobody knows because basically they predicted that that Trump was, as Chris just said, Trump was going to drop out months ago. He said this last night on the debate. He just sealed his fate.
Yeah. Here's all you need to know this election. I'm going to teach everybody here, no matter who you're wanting to vote for, whether it's Hillary, whether it's Cruz, whether it's Trump, whether it's Bernie, doesn't matter. Whoever you want to vote for, here's what you need to do. For the next 7 months, 8 months, however long it is until the election, turn off your fucking news channels. They're all lying to you in one slant or another. Stop watching it. Stop reading about it. Don't pay attention to it. Vote your conscience. Don't vote what the media is guiding you to do. Just don't do it.
But I know. And you know what? I don't have cable. I cut it off. I have the internet, of course. I look at Drudge Report, that type of thing. Still, they get to you. Facebook, Drudge Report, whatever.
Just don't, dude. Whatever. Just don't give it any weight. Don't give it any weight, dude. I'm the most political guy in the room. Any room I'm in. True or not true, Neely?
That's true.
And I have not yet watched 1 second of these debates for that exact reason. I will not be poisoned by these fucking media plants on both sides that are just trying to guide an agenda. Fuck them. I'll pay attention about a week before. I'm going to go online and I'm going to read what these guys have been talking about. I'm not going to read it from any of the news sources. And I'm going to make my decision. I'm not saying I'm voting for Trump. I'm not saying, the only thing I'll say for 100% sure is I will not vote for Hillary. I will not vote for somebody that does more murders than a TK killer. I won't do it.
No, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat ever in my life.
I'm not willing to say that. If their ideas are better, I would vote for it. I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am not nothing except somebody that cares about issues. And
same here.
So you can't say I'll never vote for a Democrat in my life, because if you get a real moderate Democrat,
well,
they might have good
if
ideas.
they said something that made any sense, I would, but they haven't. Not since I've been alive.
Right.
And I'm 46.
Well, I'm 47. It's the same thing. But
Yeah.
at the same time, the Republicans are not this fucking superpower of greatness either. Their fucking stances on abortion are stupid. Their fucking stances on capital gains are ridiculous. They have their own stupidity too. They're not a perfect system either. That's why you can't let it be, well, he's on this side, so that's the side I got to vote for. You can't do it.
I agree. I'm not Republican at all. I'm independent. I'm with the issues as well. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Republicans today are like Democrat light. They're like the Democrats about 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, sort of there. I get it, but not really.
Yeah. I've voted Democrat in my life. I have. I voted for Clinton.
Really? Oh, really? Bill?
Bill Clinton. Yeah, I voted for Bill Clinton first run. I did.
Yeah, I did.
And I'll tell you, and it was a bad vote. I'll be the first one to admit that was a bad vote, because then he went and gutted the.
I voted Perot. I voted Perot back then.
Yeah, Perot might have been a better choice. Probably would have been. But.
Yeah. I don't know. I pray though. I mean, Trump. I think he's a bit crazy, but the Chicago thing that happened yesterday. That's crazy. What the hell? You can't go to a rally, and they're preventing that from happening? This is America.
Who says that, though? But that's the whole point, is are they preventing it, or did Trump use that? Did he play the card?
I don't know. Well, let me tell you something, Steve. What I've learned just from watching, the debates and listening to Trump, he's way, way, way more savvy than people give him credit for. You use the term "he's crazy," and I want you to just very briefly, when you say that about Trump, and I'm not being defensive of Trump here at all. I'm just saying, when you say he's crazy, what gives you that impression? Why do you think he's crazy? What has he done or said, or you go, man, that guy's crazy?
I've just known about him my entire life. I guess since my teenage years, I've heard about him. He's been in the media, the news, his wives. He's rich. Remember hearing about him in the 80s, the 90s? He was kind of popular.
So
it's not that he's crazy. It's just he doesn't really say anything. He's a populist. He
is, but he is flamboyant. I think that's more or less what you're looking at, because in the 80s and the 90s, during his rise, the reason he got where he got was because he was very flamboyant. The guy that I look up to as a childhood hero, and if you've listened to the show, I'm a big fan of Evel Knievel. Now, people thought that guy was crazy. Man, look at that guy. He's jumping those trucks and those buses and doing this and that and jumping that canyon and blah, blah, blah. That guy was the biggest self-promoter. He was a wild man. He was out of step with society, and all this. But the thing is that drove his success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And really, if you want to, I personally think this president was one of the biggest pieces of shit in all time, but he's the most heralded guy in the Republican Party right now. The same clone of that was fucking Ronald Reagan. When Reagan was running, he was a flamboyant TV guy or movie guy. Same thing. Yeah. He was a rock star. And he actually came in and, I don't know, we can argue back and forth all day long if he was the greatest president ever, a piece of shit. I'll side with piece of shit, but,
Really? Why is that?
Because he's the guy that wrecked the fucking economy for what we have now. He's the guy that said, we don't have to balance the budget. The stock market's doing well. We don't need a balanced budget anymore. And in comes this fucking retarded debt. Huh?
Oh, well, I'd have to go back and look at that. I mean, we do need to balance the budget. And maybe I hope Trump is on board with that.
It was a requirement until Reagan. Once Reagan came in, Reagan said, hey, the stock market's booming. We don't have to balance the budget anymore. And then these guys just started with all their fucking... That's when you had the tripling of earmarks and everything into bills because they knew they didn't have to have a balanced budget anymore. It fucked everything up.
I would have to go back and look at that. All I remember is like mortgages, like my parents and the house. It was like at 17%.
Yeah.
To buy, have a mortgage on your house. Now it's like what, 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Which is good, I guess. I'm not
good.
really sure about that. It's kind of screwed up, but
It depends on who you think is getting screwed. Why should you pay more than 3% for money that you're paying anyway? That's fucking ridiculous. And it's not 3% if it was 3% over the course of the whole loan, that would be one thing, but it's not. It's 3% per month based on the balance you owe. It's not, it's not. Think about it. You buy a house for $100,000, 3% would be $103,000. You show me a house loan that I could buy a house for $100 or $100,000 and I only got to pay back $103, I'm going to own 50 houses because I'll do that all day long. Instead,
I agree.
$350,000.
It just seems artificially low right now with the government involvement, federal loans, subsidies. It seems artificially low.
Well, it's low because they got rid of because all of the big companies went down. They all fucking folded with being involved with all of the they were all subsidized with Enron and with what was the other one, Neely, that they were tied into?
Well, you had all the brokerage houses like Bear Stearns and all that. They all just took a shit.
Yeah, they all had that. And that's why Countrywide, which was at the time one of the biggest companies in the world for that, that's why they folded. You had, these guys, they did so bad in the market that they actually invented fake shit to sell. They started selling debt. Oh, well, this guy owes
Ninja loans. No income, no job.
Yeah,
we'll
hell,
give you a house.
got one. I'm not going to lie. I got my house.
Really?
When I bought my house, I was making shit money. I was making $38,000 a year. I bought a $160,000 house with zero money down. I did not put $1 down on a $160,000 house. Bought it on a 3-year ARM loan. Got it for...
ARM, yeah.
The only smart thing I ever did in my life was I made sure I made every single payment on time for a year, and I immediately refinanced it and got myself into a fixed loan after the first year.
Wow.
But
that's you. That's smart. I doubt that many people do that.
No, well, most people didn't. But you know what? You should have let them fall. You shouldn't have bailed out the companies. You should have let the companies that did bad business fall. And if that
I agree with. Yeah.
If the whole industry falls at that point, then the whole industry falls. Someone will pick it up.
Yeah.
Someone would pick it up.
Well, hey, I don't want to bore everybody. They're probably like, "What, Doc and blah blah May or whatever." We're talking about mortgages and interest rates, and we're making them fall asleep.
Well, let me just leave you with a little bit of just observational advice, if you want to call it that.
Sure. All right.
Trump is obviously a very wealthy person. He's in this race. Believe me, with this guy's unlimited wealth, he has got the best of the best advisors on his team, and he knows exactly how to manipulate things. He knows exactly what to say, when to say it, how to say it. Even if it's inflammatory, they know exactly how it's going to play. And the reason he's as popular as he is, the media and this general public just eats up everything he says because, oh my God, did you hear what that guy said? Oh Jesus, he said he's building a wall. He says that the Muslims shouldn't. Yeah, he shouldn't be here. But believe me,
they love the ratings. Yeah,
it's all calculated. Everything is calculated. He's not talking off the cuff or off the top of his head. He knows that he's going to say something inflammatory that the media and the press and everybody's going to pick up, and it's going to either. And it has not derailed him yet.
When he says something like she seems like she's crabby because she's got a bleeding pussy. When he said that, Don't think that before that's, first of all, he knew he was walking into a confrontation with Megyn Kelly. So when he says something like that, Don't think that his advisors haven't already told him that there's this percentage of fucking women that will automatically not vote for him versus this many guys that will pull the lever for him because they're secretly beaten down or whatever, and they are thinking the same exact thing. They know the numbers. They know what they're doing. I'm with you, Neely. There is some definite fucking thought behind it. He's not just randomly saying shit. No way.
You know what? If it's all about that and it's all about ratings, you know what I think about is that movie Idiocracy. You ever seen that movie? Mm-hmm. Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, watch it again. Other listeners out there too. I mean, it's goofy and campy, but watch it. It's a little bit realistic these days.
It's a bad time. It's a horrible election this year.
Yeah, well, don't think Trump is just a crazy guy just spouting shit off the top of his head. But believe me, he has got the
calculated.
He's got the very best advisor team behind him that money can buy. Trust me.
You think it's calculated? And
absolutely.
You know what? If he does get elected, well, you know what? I hope if he gets elected, I hope he does get the best people behind him because we need to take this country and put it back on track, so to speak. You know, we need a little help. I don't want to sound like a cliche or some politician, but we do need a little help.
Right.
We are messed up. I mean, as far as financially.
Well, who's better to fix a financial problem than a guy who understands finances?
Yeah, that's what I hope too. Hey, Trump vodka all the way. I'm just kidding. But hey, guys, thanks for letting me call in. I'll let other people call in.
All right, Steve. Thanks for listening to the show.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Neely, maybe I'll call in sometime and debate you on taxes, sales tax versus a flat tax on income.
Okay, well,
I saw that on Facebook one time. Yeah.
It's a date.
All right. Take care, guys.
Hail and kill.
Hail and kill. Hand job, wave, hand wave, like Wood May says.
Right.
Okay, bye.
There he goes, hand wave.
No, they're tax.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
All right, go ahead.
I'm all for that.
All right, what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about outrage and, everything.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
I was moving into another subject here.
Okay. Moving forward.
Moving forward.
Right.